welcome aboard the passenger vessel Connaught, built a century ago and, like her sister ships, still plying her trade on the 24-mile route from central London to Hampton Court.
Well, they're actually a unique design, and they were built for the Thames. When the tide is out at low water, they can get under the bridges, which are quite low in this part of London, and they allow passengers still to have access to these historic routes, which actually are, as anyone who's been on them, are actually quite magnificent.
River steamers launched for a tourism boom during the reign of Queen Victoria also saw military service. The Connaught was called up as a hospital ship during World War II.
You see a statue of a gentleman by the name of William Huskinson.
The old riverboats were designed to carry their passengers in comfort and some style. By the 1960s, the river was buzzing with traffic. But now modern safety standards are about to catch up with the last survivors from the original fleets. For vessels like this, the new regulations could mean a virtual rebuild. The Connaught, for example, would lose one of her most distinctive features. It's this saloon at the rear of the vessel. It would be cut off, the deck would be replated with bulkheads put underneath, and the family who own her and two other vessels say it will cost them £500,000 per boat. They simply can't afford it. Dan Adams is Connaught's skipper and tour guide. He says the safety review threatens his livelihood.
It's not practical to do it, and it would send the company out of business, which then in turn, if they go out of business, I go out of business because I no longer have a job.
Outside there was sympathy amongst his passengers.
If these boats are good enough for Dunkirk, they're certainly good enough for us.
But I think it'd be a terrible shame.
If it's managed all these years and it's perfectly safe, why keep changing things?
The report's authors say there's room for manoeuvre, but they have to stay on course.
Where there is room for discussion is on where there are different parts of the Thames, say further upstream, where there's less hazard. In the tidal stretch, if you like, that survivability is really important in bringing those older boats up to the same standards that new boats are constructed to.
The recommendations go before Parliament later this year. The future of these river veterans hangs in the balance. Well, the owners are, of course, extremely worried. They have support in Parliament, cross-party support, led by Lord West, the former First Sea Lord. That impetus, if you like, is growing, but when the report comes back to Parliament, there has to be significant questions by then to be asked. So we shall see what happens. At the moment, the whole thing is on a knife edge. Ben.
All right, Robert, thank you very much indeed. Robert Hall.